one.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Bohorror Tales podcast. Today we will be talking about, like the fear of the deep ocean, underwater themes, along with a bit of cosmic horror, because that both of those do kind of tie together a little bit here and there. And so for that, I have my hostess here, the creator of Moonpool.
The soon-to-be future series.
Okay. Anyway, and then I have the other hostess, Kyle Lloyd.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I'm on the writing room of Salem. Hi, everyone.
No,
I'm glad there's finally a podcast with no women in it. This is how it's meant to be.
Maybe it'll finally be funny this time.
I'm about to pause the recording.
Not with me in it. I'm not the funniest.
Okay.
Me and Kyle are gonna have to carry this entire thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, what's new, Derek? What's new?
Well, let's see. Dallas ignored my calls for the past 5 minutes.
Wait,
Can we get into the topic of discussion? Maybe?
No, wait. I'm new. This is my first time being in a podcast because, unlike everyone else in Boho, I'm so poor that I have to share a bedroom. So
okay, they did not
finally.
Yeah, this is going. Story. We don't need a trauma dump. This is a podcast, not therapy.
Okay.
We asked what was new, not your entire life story.
Okay.
All right. Now that we got that over with, we can get into the topic of today. So like I said, it's underwater. Now, there is a phobia of, I think, man-made things underwater. I don't remember what it's called. Let me look it up.
Ooh, there's sub-mechaphobia.
Yeah, sub-mechaphobia is the one. It's basically this fear of like submerged man-made objects under the water.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you
imagine getting caught in the machinery while it's like doing its thing under the water.
Yeah. Because there's been like old Disney attractions and stuff. They have like old rides that have been completely sunken under the water, like the Jaws ride. Like imagine being underwater with that. Like even though it's like obviously a ride, it's still a very big fear for a lot of people. So if you have that fear, or if you want to see if you have it, you can go ahead and just look it up, and and then the next one is like I think it's Phthalic Phobia, if I remember. It's like just fear.
Phobia. I watched a very long video, and it was just that was the title of it.
Yeah, it's just that's just fear of the deep ocean. But like,
I'm obsessed with this fear.
Imagine like a shark in like a pool.
Oh cool. Yeah, I get scared of pools, even if it's like impossible for an animal to be in it. That's not like a stick bug.
Yeah,
which is one of my nicknames.
I actually I have shut up. I have a pool, and I do live in Florida, so there is a very low chance that an alligator could somehow get in there.
Crikey!
Okay.
But anyway, I do actually, when I'm the last one in the pool and I'm getting out, I rush out of the ladder because I'm just scared there's going to be a shark behind me. Because animal instinct. I used
to swim in the river on the weekend, and I would swim under the deck, like next to like this like grassy area with like water in it that's like marshy. I don't know how I had the bravery to swim in that pitch black water when there were like crocodiles seen in that water. I used to be so brave.
Be fun living in the ghetto.
I know. I used to be so brave.
Just kidding. I'm not classist, everyone.
And I'm just scared of everything.
Yeah, now you're scared of social interaction. But anyway, so do any of y'all have those fears?
I do. I have had so many nightmares. Like that's my biggest fear, like drowning in deep water, like being pulled under the water, because like there's nothing you can do, and that pressure, it's building up, and eventually you're gonna have to open your mouth and let the water in and let yourself drown.
That's what she said.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, drowning in bitches.
I hate both of you.
Drowning, I remember hearing this description of what drowning feels like, and it sounded
It feels like
terrifying.
burning. Feels like a burning, suffocating feeling.
Apparently, you get like a god awful headache, like a really bad headache for some reason.
Because there's not enough
Probably because there's
oxygen
no
going to your
oxygen going to
brain.
your brain. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the longest y'all have ever been able to hold your breath?
1 minute and 23 seconds.
I was able to do it for 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I am literally a merman in
I made
the
up that
Bermuda
number.
comic. What?
Bermuda.
Yeah, your
Please.
Bermuda comic.
But I've been able to hold my breath for pretty long. I don't know the actual number, but I don't know.
I used to count it until I like got lightheaded and almost passed out.
I mean, I wouldn't count. I would just usually have contests with people on who could hold underwater. Okay.
I have
Kyle.
one of the topics. I have one of the topics pulled up that I want to talk about at some point.
Okay, then pull it up.
Well, I already do.
Pull it up in the conversation, asshole.
It's called the bloop.
What the hell is the bloop?
Okay.
Wait, both of y'all don't know what the bloop is?
Is that like when everyone returned from the snap in Avengers?
I was about to say that.
Oh my god, these Gen Zers. No, the bloop is a really scary noise. It's a scary noise. It happened in 1997, and the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration picked it up on like their like radio wave magical sign, whatever Darcy was talking about in WandaVision, some like sound picker upper thing, and
Sonar?
whatever. And apparently whatever made the noise, usually it only picks up whale noises, but it was such a big noise that whatever the animal is, it would have to be around like 3 times bigger than a whale, and it than a blue whale, the biggest animal to ever exist. It would have to be bigger.
So then it was Chris's mom.
I guess. It was of uncertain origin, so it could have been.
That's weird.
It was in the South Pacific. That relates to my next point. Wink. Nemo's point. Nemo's point is the most, it's farthest away from any piece of land ever. The closest people to it are people in the space station. And just imagine dropping into the middle of it.
That would be really fun.
I wonder, like, if there's just like.
Okay, so this is in space, right? What you're talking about right now?
No, it's in the South Pacific. It's the point in the ocean that's the farthest away from any piece of land.
The closest people to it are the people in the space station orbiting Earth.
Yeah, it's actually where that little island was. If you ever watched Pair of Kings and you saw them zoom into the little swirl island, that's exactly where Point Nemo is.
So, it's basically where the boys in Lord of the Flies landed. If any of you uncultured swines have read the book.
Yes, we get the reference, Derek.
Okay, well, a lot of boys trapped on an island.
I'm reading
That'd
more.
Be a dream for you, wouldn't it?
They were like,
I'm reading more about the bloop.
So do you guys believe that there is something much bigger? Let's say, of course, this cliche of the Mariana Trench, because it's like one of the deepest, I think it's the deepest part of the ocean.
It is.
Do you guys think there is something around there or under there that is way bigger than a blue whale?
I think
1000% yes.
I think if
like, okay.
what were you saying?
Hey. Isn't okay, I don't know the exact statistic, but isn't like the ocean like only like 20% discovered or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yes, there's like so much wildlife and sea life down there that we don't know about. So like I feel like the chances of something being bigger than a blue whale down there, that's pretty vast, you know.
Yeah. The Mariana Trench itself is 36,000 feet deep. So either around there or below it. Because there was something like that in the Meg movie, and then there was something like that in the movie Underwater. And okay, look.
Dallas
Do you
Hammond
think?
left.
Oh, okay then.
Okay, guess it's just me and you. You know that one movie, Life of Pi?
Yes,
You know
with
that
the
movie?
tiger.
Yeah, that Indian guy, and he was like lost. I think that movie was what gave me my fear of the ocean, because like it was terrifying. There was this one scene, and there was this giant like whale or something
Hmm.
like swimming underneath his little boat ship, and it was just like he was like nothing in comparison to that giant ass whale, and it was just terrifying to me because like it's just the ocean is so big, it's just so big.
Yeah, I do think I never watched that movie personally. I think it didn't just turn out to be a dream or something.
No, it was real. Dallas High. We're talking about Life of Pi.
I couldn't
Um,
hear y'all.
yes, because
Oh,
you left. Moving on.
I
So
know, but
Life
I
of
couldn't.
Pi. Okay, stop. We stop. Okay, Life of Pi. It was like I don't remember. It's been a while, but basically his boat crashed. He got in. He was like on a zoo ship or something. He survived with like a tiger, a thing or something, whatever. The tiger ate all the other animals, and it was just him left. And then it wasn't a dream. He sailed a boat, and he got to an island, and then the tiger left him there. And some people found Pi, and they saved his life, and he was alive. So it wasn't a dream, but yeah, that movie was just like terrifying to me as a kid because like wow.
They found Pi.
Life of Pi. His name,
not
his
three
he was
point
he,
one four, fucking nerd.
he was
Oh,
an Indian guy.
So, do you guys
Don't know
think?
why.
Do you guys think that there is like a cosmic, like horror, like Cthulhu under the water, or is it more like a whale?
well, okay. So what I was saying before like everything completely broke was that like if I think something's like really big that lives in the ocean, I don't think it's in the Mariana Trench because like that's such a highly looked at area, and there's like a common misconception that 5% of the ocean has been explored, and really it's around 20 to 25%.
Yeah.
And my sources are that marine biologist gay dude on TikTok.
Well, the only
So
reason it's because everyone like uses 5 because that's the data from like years ago.
yeah, of like the ocean
Didn't I say
floor.
20? I predicted it.
Yeah.
Well, I think something bigger could be alive, but whatever it would have to eat, I don't know how it would really sustain itself without us really knowing about it.
Yeah,
But
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
deep sea
Well, most of
gigantism
the
is a very
things down
common
there,
thing.
don't they have like stomach patterns so that they can eat and not come up? I don't know. There's this one animal, and it
Well,
was like it only has to eat like a few times a year. I think it was I don't know which
Me?
animal it's called. It was like a really ugly fish thing, and it like
yeah,
only
so it's
has to eat a
fast.
few times a year, so it doesn't have to go searching. But it
I don't
moves super slow, so it doesn't burn much energy while it's moving.
I wonder if it descended from a sloth. Um,
Oh,
because
whales descended from mammals. There was
because
this like this
sloths because
there was like
Oh, I
this
sloths
saw that TikTok,
four-legged
I think.
animal.
I saw that TikTok, yeah.
sloths were originally in the ocean, as was everything, but they were primarily in the ocean up until they crawled up on land. So I kind of wonder. See, here's the thing with that. Although I would love to believe how cool it would be if there's like some cosmic horror under the water, like doesn't Pacific Rim have something like that? Like they cracked open the Earth's like inner. I think it was the mantle or something. I don't know if they actually lived in there because I don't remember the complete like theology of it, but basically
Pacific Rim?
there was these giant monsters that came up. They were kind of like kaijus, and they had to develop these like giant mecha robotic suits to fight them off.
Well, I know in the Meg, what they did was uncovered like a deep underwater part of the ocean that had been covered up. And when they opened it up, that's how the megalodon came out. So, like, what if there really is a part of our ocean that's been covered up in the past few million years? Kind of like the land bridge between Russia and Alaska, how Native Americans got to the Americas, it's been covered up. What if there's a big part of the ocean that's covered up, and then there's a ton of animals that have separately evolved compared to the animals that are in the ocean right now?
Yeah, I
That
mean,
that would be so cool.
I do think that that's a possibility, but anything that's like on the bottom of our ocean that is bigger than a blue whale, that isn't under some secret place, I don't think it's possible that it could have survived because
It would have to
the
go up to shallower waters.
well, not just that. I mean, like, because there are animals that live down there deep, and it's fine, but you would need a crazy amount of energy to constantly, survive for such a big animal. Um, I mean, that's why the megalodon went extinct because all of its food was evolving or it was too small, and the oceans, I believe, were getting hotter. So they basically died off because they didn't have enough food to sustain themselves to swim around. And some people think that the megalodon is still alive today, but no, it died off millions of years ago. If it was alive, we would have found teeth by now. So I mean, and then some other predator, I can't remember what it is, but it looks like it has armored stuff on its like skin, like its scales was the next like because for those of you who don't know, when a big predator or something dies off, it will be replaced by something else in the food chain. Basically, that animal will evolve after having no other natural predators. Since that one is gone, it becomes the new apex predator, pretty much.
I
So
did a project on the food web like 4 hours ago. And it was aquatic. It was the aquatic food web.
Was there sharks on it?
Yes, I made sure to put a shark on it.
I mean, and here's the thing with sharks, especially. Sharks, they need the reason that they don't go for humans or anything, they only do it for curiosity reasons. Sharks need fat. They need a lot of fat. So KRIS would obviously be eaten, but they need a lot of fat. They can't eat bones because they can't really digest it well. So to have an animal that is that composed of fat, like a giant ass seal, constantly around there, I don't think a megalodon would be able to survive at all. And similar to other creatures, it would be very difficult for any kind of animal that size to survive down there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Okay,
Sorry, I glitched a little bit there.
Kyle, what are your thoughts?
I agree. Not too informed on the deep sea water topic, but yeah, probably, probably. I think mermaids are down there too.
So here's the thing with that. Mermaids, okay, so dolphins are extremely I mean, not only are they smart as hell, but they're very like naturally inclined with humans, like they're very just automatically chill with us for no reason. They were just already like that. And some people think the reason for that is because of mermaids. Like, they look so similar to humans that they kind of just realize that we were the same thing or something. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, a mermaid would not have hair on their head and completely naked everywhere else. That's not how that would have evolved. That's like a Disney fantasy.
Do you remember that TikTok? Oh my God, I'm a mermaid.
Oh yeah, the fat girl in the pool. She's like, "Why would you do that? I'm turning into a mermaid."
I'm gonna turn to a mermaid.
But I remember there was this thing on Discovery years ago, about mermaids, and it was all fake.
The documentary?
Yes, it was like
I was gonna mention that. I was
Yeah.
literally gonna mention that because I remember watching it when it was really dark and Hurricane Isaac was happening, and I had stitches in my toes, so I couldn't even walk. So I was just trapped in this room, not even able to walk in the dark while a hurricane was happening. Watching this scary documentary on mermaids. Ooh, little old me was scared.
Okay, don't care. But there was this documentary on Discovery about mermaids and how they've secretly been involved, and there was like clips that they showed it. And keep in mind, this is on Discovery Channel, you know, a science-based channel. And it turned out all to be fake as shit. Like they said that they had this record of fossils from it, and basically there was like this lodged arrowhead in a fish, dating back years and years ago, which basically they were like, oh my god, you know, that means that there was mermaids hunting with spears, and it turned out to be a bunch of fake shit. And I remember there was actually this big thing. It was like a really badly animated CGI thing showing the mermaids, and they were like completely naked and green, and they didn't have any hair though. And
okay, well,
I don't know what that just okay. And so basically there was this thing where it was like a pod of mermaids, a bunch of them, and there was this megalodon, and it just ate like a whale in front of them. And for some reason, because media is so scared of sharks, a megalodon that size would not go for like a couple of mermaids after just having a giant whale. Like they're literally filled with bones, but whatever. So this one mermaid cuts open its hand or its arm to bleed, and because you know sharks are trying to blah 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 blah. So the shark goes after that one mermaid, and like he sacrifices himself for the rest of the pod. Fucking really dumb shit. And they were like, yeah, this is how the shark got a spear in its mouth. It was really dumb. Really, really, really dumb.
Whatever. I want to get into cosmic core now.
We've been talking about that, stupid.
I know, but I want to like properly set the groundwork for what it is, because it's not a very known type of horror. So usually horror is in media is like, okay, let's say at night you're like scared of the dark. It's like really dark, and horror focuses on what is in the dark usually, but cosmic horror is more of the dark itself. It's the fear of what you don't know and what you can't comprehend.
It's just the fear of the unknown. That's it.
I know, but it's like so many movies I've watched have delved into it so much deeper than just the fear of the unknown. Like Annihilation, that movie delved into the fear of like you don't even know what's happening to your own body. And like the scene where the girl, she got mauled by a bear like outside of the house they were sleeping in, but she ended up mixing with the bear, so the bear came in with like its like partial skull showing, and the noises it were making were the screams she was screaming before she died. That type of like really weird, incomprehensible stuff is what cosmic horror is all about, and that's why it's my favorite genre of horror, because it's so incomprehensible, which is why it's hard to explain. Like it's also called Lovecraftian horror, but I don't like to call it that because Lovecraft was racist.
Yeah, he had a cat named Kyle, you want to say it?
Don't say it. No, we don't say slurs on this channel.
Oh.
Kyle, you can literally say it.
I mean, Queen.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well, anyway, the cat was named the N-word. So, if you couldn't guess that by me asking Kyle, the only black character on this couch, just to explain what it was. But, yeah, I mean, wasn't he from like the 40s? So, I mean, I guess it's expected. But
I think it was like I feel like it was before the 40s,
30s, something like that.
I remember I watched a video on one of the excerpts of one of his story, and there was a being that was literally named the Undescribable, and literally like it's about like you hear it being described, which is why it's hard to put this into movies and stuff, and that's why you don't usually see it in movies, you see it in books, because you can't really visualize this monster in the story, which the character described it as having an unlimited amount of eyes always looking at you, and its entire existence seemed to be made up of almost like some jelly substance, and it had colors that they had never even seen before, along with just pink, like just that undescribable.
Well, the color thing, physically impossible. Our corneas cannot see the colors other than what we've already seen. So it's
I know, but it's beyond our comprehension.
Yeah, we can't see those wavelengths of light. So whatever that motherfucker was on, it was wrong.
So maybe it's some different type of wavelengths that we've never even comprehended.
Can't see it. If we could have, we already would have. If you look at a sunset, what do you see? What colors do you see?
Derek, have you ever heard the saying of
answer my question.
Ants in a pic. What was your question again?
What colors do you see when you're looking at a sunset?
I see orange and purple and yellow
and red, right? Those roughly those
and
colors.
red.
Okay,
Mhm.
and it's like a gradient. Now, if we brought up that shrimp that for some reason can punch the fuck out of people, I don't remember what it's called. I just remember it from the Photoshop test.
Dude has eye cones.
If you bring that fish up here, or not the fish, that shrimp or lobster, whatever it was, if you bring it up and you just put it on, like, you know, your windowsill looking at the sunset, they would see way more different colors, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's spore," and they're like, "What's that?" And then the shrimp's like, "Spore is like that color, you know, don't you see it?" And they're like, "No."
Yeah, and it's like, that's ranch.
Right. So yeah, we can't see those colors. They exist, but we can't see them.
Well, I heard this metaphor about ants eating your picnic food. To them, they have no comprehension of what a picnic is or what is happening. They just know food is there. And that's kind of what the comparison of us to something grander could be, or just the ants eating on a picnic. We can't maybe something grander is happening that is so complex that we can't even comprehend it. And so I think a different wavelength or something isn't that far off compared to all the theories of other stuff we can't comprehend, like religion.
We comprehend.
Okay, you said the undescribable, and your thing was we can't see the wavelength. So maybe it's like we can't tell what we're looking at. This is what you're saying.
Something so convoluted that we can't even begin to comprehend what is happening, what it is, I guess.
And although that's a cool idea, even though this being, let's say it was that color, it would simply describe it at our eyes at a different color that we can comprehend, like blue.
Yeah, we wouldn't know that it was a different color because we would see it like it's red or gray or something like that.
Yeah, that's how light works.
I'm starting to realize there's no use in like debating the scientificness of an incomprehensible horror.
Well, obviously, but
that's the thing. If it exists, then that is comprehensible. If you're looking at it and you can see it, reach out and touch it, then
I'm just saying,
by definition, it is comprehensible.
I guess some horrors have never made themselves known to us yet.
Okay, but
so
also,
this Lovecraft person was just a shitty writer.
Yeah, what it sounds like. So. Because
he came up with this idea.
You can't just be like, "Oh my god, it's an incomprehensible color."
That seems like a cop-out to me.
How the hell would we know that? He's just trying to make it sound scary. We would literally see that it's blue.
And maybe you just explained it poorly, but you said it was jelly with a bunch of eyes. That was like the least scary thing. That's not scary to me.
It sounds like KRIS' shit.
Oh.
Okay, well, still.
Well, I'm not trying to defend a racist, but
I know. I'm just saying it
I'm just trying to defend this version of horror that he's created where he's tapped into the fear of the unknown. Here, I looked it up, okay? It was a terrible, indescribable thing, vaster than any subway train, a shapeless congeries of protoplasmic bubbles, faintly self-luminous, and with myriads of temporary eyes forming and unforming as pustules of greenish light all over the tunnel, filling front that bore down upon us. Like it's
I
Oh, he
like
said
that
green.
description.
He said
it's
green.
like unable to be visualized, kind of like the what you couldn't see, kind of like Bird Box, where you couldn't see what was making everyone kill themselves, but it was something so horrifying and awful that it made anyone want to kill themselves, which is something we can't really comprehend.
It was
Oh,
KRIS without makeup.
okay.
You're so
Okay.
mean.
Well, it was a very interesting topic. This is a pretty big topic, so we might dive into cosmic horror more on another podcast, because this is a very big topic that I feel like it definitely needs more time. But I'm afraid that is all the time we have for this one. So,
I have one recommendation for anyone watching. If you want the perfect little bite of cosmic horror, there is this music video that is called it's made by people called like DYE, and it's called Fantasy, and it looks like just some teenagers swimming at a pool.
I don't know if I'd say that's
goes
cosmic horror though.
it definitely is. It is
That's
the
more.
perfect.
That's
I mean,
more.
it's Lovecraftian, I guess.
I feel like it's more Cronenberg horror.
Yeah, that too. I don't know. It's just the fear of the unknown and having no idea what the heck is happening, especially the ending is so creepy, the being you see at the ending. So just watch it. It's just a short music video that's animated. It's just teenagers breaking into a pool. Just watch it.
All right. Well, any other closing statements from either of you?
I
It
think
was nice to finally be on
everyone
podcast.
should. I think everyone should listen to mushrooms. You know what I'm talking about? Like when they put that thing on the mushrooms and you can hear the mushrooms communicating.
I've never heard that.
Huh?
Like, okay, they plug this device up to mushrooms and they can hear the signals of the mushrooms and they can like hear the mushrooms communicating with each other. I'll post a link on, I'll give you the TikTok. But yes, it's very scary. That's why I brought that up. It's like a terrifying noise to hear.
Why the hell
It's
wouldn't you
like
bring this up earlier when we had more time?
so distorted and scary to listen to.
Oh. Well, follow me on Moon Salad.
No.
Okay, ending it.
All right, there you go.